What do you own a ridiculous amount of? Socks. 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 I got socks for my socks. Are you the sock monster in my dryer? Records, about 2,000 of them. Back in the 1980s, all my friends gave me their records when they bought keys. Many people would kill for a good vinyl collection these days. Edit. Aw, thanks for the award, good vinyl loving pull. Reddit. Moving records is such a pain in the ass. I moved with a similar amount 10 years ago, and the records were damn near the hardest part of the move. Worth it though. Salt and pepper shakers. I guess 7 pairs isn't ridiculous for some niche collector, but I am not. But where the hell did they all come from? I have cows, sugar skulls, goats. I don't need to shake that much salt and pepper. My mom used to have a large collection. I'm talking shelves full of those fuckers. We'd occasionally swap the boring ones from the table with a fun set, but they were mostly just on display. Speaking of salt and pepper shakers, is it too much to ask for electric ones that actually work and don't cost an arm and a leg? Empty boxes from ordering stuff. I'm taking them to recycling as soon as I decide I'm not gonna use them. I was so bad with boxes, and with 3 people in one house we were getting a lot of boxes built up. I finally got rid of them all, broke them down and recycled them. Then I had no boxes to wrap anything in for Christmas and had to buy boxes. The box cycle is a savage and heartless one. Things that never gonna happen. You need those boxes. Crafting supplies. I'm a serial crafter in that I like to get really into a crafting hobby for a period of time, could be months, years, or sometimes just weeks. And then I move on to the next craft. I usually buy supplies for that hobby as though it will be a lifelong passion. I'm also an aspirational crafter. I'll see the potential in raw materials, which forces me to buy said raw materials, but then I get lazy and the project never comes to fruition. In short, I have 2 separate hobbies: collecting crafting supplies and crafting. Same exact answer here. It doesn't help that I work at a craft store, so I see other people's crafts, get inspired, tell myself my discount makes it worth it, and my depression won't stop me from doing anything creative when I get home. Yet here I am with so many unfinished projects. I still have a little piece of the inspiration for them. I just have to get around to the motivation part. So very much the same. We should form a support club, and maybe we would actually inspire each other to dive back into our once passions. More realistically, we'd inspire each other to develop additional new interests and buy supplies for that hobby to add to the rest of our supplies collecting dust. I'm guessing at least one of your crafts involves yarn. I hear using yarn and collecting yarn are 2 different hobbies so often. Lol. Well, now I'm feeling a bit called out. To be fair, the high of having just the right thing for an unexpected circumstance is really good. I used to have a big problem with that, but I finally settled on sewing. Though I still do embroidery, cut paper like shadow boxes, and I can't get myself to throw out my polymer clay tools, but I am looking into resin art, so I should keep my polymer clay stuff for that. I also want to get into leather making, and I miss my jewelry making tools. I have considered getting a membership to a woodshop when COVID gets better. Maybe used to isn't accurate. Books. I'm never moving again. Preach on a lark. I put a bid on the European history section of a library in a university that was shutting down. Somehow, I got rid of 2/3 of them, since you only need, say, 2 books at most about the Crimean War. I still have hundreds and hundreds. Here's the rub though. I write history and I teach history. They've been a godsend when I'm up in the middle of the night, can't figure out how to connect Fenianism into the American Civil War through a European perspective. And then I can start pulling books on the Second Empire. I realize not everyone has that problem, but having way too many books is about the only way to solve it. Edit. I write history. I am not the living incarnation of history. It how you can donate them, sell them, and give them away, and somehow the shelves never get more space. Looks at the mattress bag full of old Star Wars novels. Yee. I should probably do something since we were moving in a few weeks. 200. Edit. For those of you expressing an interest in many books, specific books, or just curious to see the collection, I'm saving this post, and if when I have a chance to sort through the bag later before my move at the end of the month, I'll get some updates back in here. Got laid to do it, but I had to move 54 boxes of books down 3 floors. Edit. I got paid. Polyhedral dice. Dice Goblin is pleased. No such thing as a ridiculous amount of shiny click-clacks. There you are. I had to scroll too far down for this one. It's truly the most harmful addiction. I bought a few sets so my players can all have a full set about a month before the pandemic. The entire campaign has been on Roll20 and I have no need for them. Rocks. I have a rock collection, precious stones. Other cool mineral. When I tell you my room shines purple because of all my amethyst clusters and points, I mean it. Edit. Working on uploading pictures you all. I'll showcase my favorites then link them here when I can edit too. Still having trouble with the pictures. Reddit won't load my recent pictures, only shows pictures from 2 years ago, and Imgur has the same problem. Were you raised by geologists? Both of my parents are geologists. Among the three of us, we have a serious rock problem. My mom bought a new china cabinet. It had like these LED lights on 2 glass shelves. 3/4 of it were turned into rock display cases with some actual china tucked to one side. Edit. Also a great collection of sand, minerals. They are minerals, Murray. I'm in this same boat. It is crazy to see how specialized people get. I have a friend who liquidated much of his collection so he could afford more tourmaline from a specific mine in California. Me, it is shark teeth. Pristine ones, ones with unique pathologies, ones with rare or striking coloring, teeth from different life stages and locales, teeth that are periodized, teeth showing evolutionary paths, including intermediate to transitional specimens. I have literally thousands of teeth, paper clips. I have a whole drawer full of them. Where do they even come from? You might find that game relatable. Quife signed us for Amazon Household Essentials subscription and overestimated how often we bought kips. A box came every month until I pointed out that using our stock of 20,000 kips would take a while. Edit. Thanks for the awards. I was not expecting this to blow up. Happened with toothpaste. I've got like 8-9 tubes currently. That has been suspended for the foreseeable future. I might need toothpaste in April of 2022. I accidentally bought too many Q-tips a few years ago. My husband started hiding them in weird places if he got annoyed with me over something. Several times I've gone to put on shoes in my closet that I haven't worn in a while and find a Q-tip. Always a laugh when I find one in a weird place. Blood sugar, sex magic. It is almost like a debt you pay down with insulin. Houseplants. It's hard to stop buying, trading, or just propagating and making more. Edit. First, whoa, I didn't expect this to blow up. Awesome to see so many other plant lovers. Second, I wanted to respond to all the trade plant comments with Takey Plant, Levy Plant. I've also seen trades on the Nextdoor app and community groups. My local plant store also hosts plant swaps. So take a trimming of your plant and propagate it, show up and see who wants to swap. Surprised I had to scroll down so far to find this. I'm in the same boat, haven't counted in a while, but I must be pushing 150 houseplants. The pro and con of houseplants is they tend to multiply even if you don't buy more. Edit. Oak, I know this is now the top comment. It was at the very bottom when I first encountered it. I wish I could have houseplants. I seem to not have a green thumb. I have an orchid that won't bloom or grow, but won't die. I have watched YouTube videos, read books, and tried everything to help it. I love plants, wish I could have them in my house, but even the ones I plant outside for spring-summer just seem to die. Tia worked in a tea shop and was able to get an insane amount of loose-leaf tea for free. I literally have a cupboard of nothing but different flavors of loose-leaf teas. Hundreds of dollars worth of tea for my own drinking pleasure. I probably have close to 40 different flavors, all in their own happy little tins waiting for the day I think yes. A pure green tea sounds perfect today. Stu100 edit. I never thought my love of tea would get me awarded. Thank you kindly, Stu100 edit too. Thanks for everyone who is commenting, upvoting, and giving awards. I only had one award before today. I'm glad that if any of my comments had to become popular, it is the one about tea, that is. Peace, love, and tea for all. And he love for all, and tea for all. I literally have a cupboard of nothing but different flavors of loose leaf teas. Hundreds of dollars worth of tea for my own drinking pleasure. I probably have close to 40 different flavors. This sounds like paradise. Do you happen to have a peach and ginger black tea, aside from Earl Grey? That's my favorite. Does tea go bad? I had a few tins, then people started gifting me tea. I get tea faster than I drink them. I too have more tea than I'll ever drink. My wife had a bunch of different teas and I thought I'd get her one of those countertop tea boxes. I ordered one I thought looked nice on Amazon, and when it arrived, it was a lot larger than I was expecting. So I ordered a bunch of different types of tea to fill it up before I gave it to her. It has continued to grow from there, and we now have a whole tea counter in our kitchen. Cables. There is an unwritten law of the universe. If you throw away a cable, you will need it within a month. Similar to the law that you will always see random objects just laying around until you actually need them. Then they were nowhere to be found. I just moved this summer, finally got rid of my old dye cables. I tossed my VGA cables the move before that, 2 years prior, and a decade after I stopped using them. And then I realized that my work monitor is DVI and VGA, and is muddy because it is hooked up on VGA. This is where I keep my assorted lengths of wires. If I would connect all of aux extensions I have in a box under my bed, I would be able to reach neighboring city. I don't know how it has happened, but some of my old cables are so old they have grown mold. On an unrelated note, do you have need of an up to us cable or 6? Holy fuck this. Last time I moved, I tossed a box I had been holding on to for years, full of various peak components and peak component accessories, cables, fans, various riser cards adapters I no longer can identify. The works. Tossed it because hey, I haven't touched this shit in years. No point moving it. Literally the next goddamn day a friend of mine called and asked if I had an old dye cable he could bum. I work commercial it. This is the answer. Moomin tea mugs. I have close to 60, all different. My mother gifted me them for years in my advent calendar, and she got a bit carried away. I want some mugs so bad. In Norway they used to give you one for each time you donated blood for some reason. I don't think they do that anymore. Think they do that. As a Finn I can say, there are so many of them in every household here. Like literally you could go to any home and ask, do you have Moomin mug, and answer would be yes 90 of the time. I don't actually have even one, but when my ex was still not ex and lived with me, she did have them. Get her pics. I have so many because I keep losing them, so I buy more. Then I clean my couch and find all the old ones, except the ones that the pick demon sucks into the vortex along with all the missing socks. Anytime I pick up the couch cushions look under the bed, I end up handing my boyfriend a handful of guitar picks. He used to work at Guitar Center before we lived together, and I would always find the red Guitar Center picks somewhere in my dorm room after he left. Nerf darts piece. I don't have any Nerf guns. When I started at my current job we used to have daily Nerf fights. Most people could throw them further and more accurately than any unmodified gun. Funny, I have a bunch of Nerf guns, but no darts. Steam games, same. 80 of which I've never played. I have 43 and my friends say it is too much. Then I see people with 800 and I forget nuts and bolts. Every time I get a new thing that needs assembled, I keep the leftovers just in case. Now I have a ton of random, particular nuts and bolts with severely limited applications, and I just can't seem to throw them away. But when you just need one goddamn bolt nut to hold together something that broke, that box of nuts bolts is worth its weight in gold. Saved many trips to the Home Depot because of that lovable bastard box. Coffee beans. I want a lifetime supply of gourmet coffee beans in a contest. Several pounds arrive each month, faster than I can use them. Some get stored in the freezer, while other bags are given to friends who can use them. Several pounds arrive each month, faster than I can use them. Not a serious coffee drinker, are ya? How did you win such a blessing? How would you feel about it if you accidentally scroll to the top? You can go back to where you were. Button for Reddit. For some reason, Reddit cannot be reached when loading the area you were at previously. and thus something went wrong with the scrolling back. Just don't panic. Sometimes when I back out of a thread and I move down too quickly with my finger, the screen spazzes out and goes lime 10 posts away up or down. It is a long haul to get back to where you were. Found this after accidentally losing my place and starting at the top. Give me my place back. Reddit. It is not just that kind of a problem with Reddit. Ever have a notification on your phone from Reddit? You go to view the Reddit item, and regardless of whether you tap back at the bottom of your Android phone or tap the arrow at the top of the post, it takes you completely out of Reddit or the accidental too many backs, and it does a refresh, not only losing your place in Reddit but completely replacing all of the stuff in Reddit with the then current information. Such refresh operations should only be user requested, or at the very least an option to prompt you, "Are you sure you want to refresh?" For those of us that find this happening often enough to be frustrating. Was about to comment this too. I found a scroll button rectangle thing on the right side of my iPhone that will let me fast forward back to where I was. It takes a couple seconds to find where I was, but much easier than constantly scrolling. Try scrolling with your thumb on the right side and the button will show up. Zoom in. It's lighter in this screenshot. I came back to say I lost my spot again. New Reddit is basically unusable compared to the old one. The only reason they made the changes was to serve more ads. Are you me? The Apollo app has these features. I use it regularly. Laughs in Apollo. Obligatory plug used a number of Reddit clients on the iPhone over the years, and Apollo is by far my favorite. Lots of customizability. No ads, plus the dev seems like an alright dude. Definitely recommend. I came here looking for this comment. Apollo Masterus. Wait, is that feature on Apollo? I can't find it. Anyone swap from Rift to Apollo and wanna pitch me? I just don't have a good reason to stop using Rift. Apollo Ultra Gang here. Fucking best app for any device ever. Is by far the hardest working lone developer I can think of. Laughs in Riz extension. I just click the back button on my mouse and it takes me right back to exactly where I was. Also, everything is permanently in dark mode. Cries in Android. Sync does this too. How would you feel about this question being asked again, just formatted differently? Once a week it seems. Op's first Reddit comment was literally in response to someone who posted the same question, albeit worded clumsily, in askreddit and got 2 votes. It is not even an interesting question. Who would be against such a button? This is like an upvote for feature request. Button that banishes people to the moon for asking this question. Button that takes me back to where I was on Reddit. I think I'd rather have 10 of those famous sexiest sex ever sexed questions than this goddamn question every other day. Op knows damn well how everyone thinks about this. I was looking for the cynical comment referring to this being an effortless repost. Yes, and eventually we will get to another how do you feel about banning, how do you feel about posts. I flagged as spam and you can too. Karma farmers got a farm. I fucking hate this kind of question. Oh, how would you feel if something people very broadly want or agree with? How would you like if I format the question you just asked again differently? Especially when I'm down 500 pages from top of all after about 4 days of grinding it that far only to lose it all from an accidental computer shutdown. Pain. I use the setting that hides anything I've upvoted or downvoted, and I just upvote or downvote things as I go. Refresh from time to time and get a new list. No worry about seeing the same thing twice. Just curious what brings one to the 500th page of raw, and what makes it so important to stay there once you get there. And I would scroll 500 my rawls, and I would scroll 500 more, just to be the man who trolls the server until it can't take no more. Can I post this question next week? Mom said it's my turn. Mom said it's my turn to farm karma on askreddit. Why does this get upvoted in askreddit? It is something that everyone would either very much like to have, or would not mind having. No point in asking these questions here. Mo. Better suited to ideas for admins. The exact same thing posted all the time and hits the front page every few months, it seems. Hey, we are years ahead of you, because it's a default sub and appears in everyone's raw. Most people upvoting it don't even realize it's askreddit, which, while I think of it, I would love it if they put in a comment sub feature where you could only upvote the post if you actually opened it. Non-questions like this would get dramatically fewer upvotes from people that don't realize it's an askreddit post. The real problem is it always gets too hot. Among all of the senseless questions in new, there is always this one to reach T-top. I felt the same. Who wouldn't want it? It wouldn't interfere with those who don't want it, and again, who wouldn't, and could only be beneficial to most. It's like asking in the 50s who would want a remote or something. Not a great analogy, but not a great question either. I felt the same as you. How would askreddit feel about 120-year-olds having to pass a medical test to keep their driver's license? Why am I seeing this post for at least a third time? Easy karma. Because Reddit is shit now. Is this the Groundhog Day or something? Yeah, I was confused as fuck for a minute. I haven't been on Reddit in a few days and this question was on my screen. I reloaded to get the current front page and I see this and think something screwy happened. F's. Reddit is fun has had this feature for a while now. It is quite nice. For fuck's sake, stop asking this damn question. It doesn't even belong in this sub. Gotta farm karmas. Especially when there's already multiple third-party Reddit apps that already have this feature. Woo, op is a massively racist piece of shit, some more awfulness also. Op's first comment on their account is on an askreddit post with the same question Op reposted. Why are you like this? Chip 99726. 2 words. Karma whore. Damn, Op actually won the bet. Oh well, 126 out of the pocket path. How would you feel if these stupid types of questions were banned? You wouldn't be able to farm your sweet karma. You wouldn't be able to farm your karma. Didn't they already ban these questions a couple years ago? Did they unban them, or has this one just evaded deletion? Article this point. Riff and Bacon Reader have this function. Riff is nice. What's the function on Bacon Reader? I just do hide raid posts. I don't ever lose my scrolling place. For me, the issue is I see a title I want to click just as I'm navigating away, and hitting the back button reloads the listing and it is gone. Then the Reddit search obviously can't find the post and it is too early to search for it with Google. Or you straight up forget what caught your eyes and just scroll for ages hoping Git will catch your eye again. The only reason anyone ever clicks back is to go to same page they were on, but you can't. It is so even worse on it. Anyone else gets so depressed when the page closes and you know you can never go back. Yup, it's even worse if you save a post but it gets removed so you can't view it unless you've made a comment on it. Loads of questions I'd love to come back and read the answers to but get removed. Curl Shift T Shift. Page closes and you know you can never go back in a comment thread. There is the Scroll in Chrome extension for remembering scroll positions if you return after closing the tab. The extension now auto-fetches the last saved scroll position on page load, if page has any saved scroll. You must have been in a situation wherein you are reading a long article but you don't have enough time to finish it, so you close the tab, and the next time you open the article again, you have no idea where you left it. Well, not anymore. With this extension you can save the scroll position of the page and then revisit the page at any time to continue where you left. But if I want to return, I usually just Control F find my way back. For me personally, saving a scroll position isn't as frequent as saving the existing tabs. For that, you can use the Session Buddy Chrome extension. Session Buddy is a session manager that allows you to save open tabs as collections that can be easily restored later. It's great for freeing up memory and avoiding clutter. Recover your open tabs after a crash. See and manage all open tabs in one place. Search open tabs and collections to quickly find what you were looking for. Sync has this feature. The beta version of Sync for Reddit is the best way to use RedditMO. Insanely good app. Apollo, a Reddit app for iOS, does this, as does Reddit is fun for Android.
Like and subscribe for more Reddit content. Watch the next video at the top of your screen.